Good morning. It's December 7th. I'm going to pull out our positive words for today before I get on this treadmill here and try to do a little something before I get out for the day. Okay. For today, it is because I am human, I can make choices. Isn't that something, such a simple thought, but to know that we have the ability to make choices. And it made me think about how a few years ago I was so burned out in my work, really, suffering some moral injury, and I felt trapped. Part of the reason I felt trapped is because, and it took me a while to unpack all this, but part of it was that so much of my personal identity was connected to being a physician and to achievement. Some of that's positive, it helped bring me out of social circumstances, give me stability. I really had to grapple with the idea of, like, if I'm not here caring for patients, then who am I? I hadn't really done enough work to, in my mind, give myself hobbies and a life outside of work. Work used to take over evenings, work used to go into the weekends. So I remember on vacation, like the first few days, feeling so panicked that I couldn't log on to be sure the emails didn't stack up, or the patient messages, even though people are supposed to be covering when you're away, that you get back and just have this stack of stuff in my former role. So I felt really trapped, and I started to feel just very despondent and depressed. On one hand, I had this really good federal job, and it was stable, and I got a lot of positive benefits in that regard. It just impacted my relationships because I was not present, and I was very irritable. I had to go back and really kind of accept that truth about myself. And I was talking to my husband, and one time he said, why don't you just leave? Nobody's holding you there, And I remember being kind of pissed about it at the time because I was like, you don't understand, And my husband has had his own practice. He's, always worked for himself. So I really felt like a lot of pressure to be the person who was employed, and have the benefits and all that. But he was like, we never talked about that being something you had to do. If you don't want to be employed, if you want to do something else, it's like he's basically I support you in whatever you want to do, but these restrictions that you have in place, they're just ones that you put in place. Nobody has put them on you. I had to take, and y'all, this took me a long time, but I had to come and be accountable and responsible to the fact that because I had these internal perceptions, because I had these expectations, I was choosing to be in a place that was not healthy for me, not emotionally healthy, not physically healthy. The only person who could change it was me, and I remember I wanted to rage against the system, because I actually liked the job and I liked the patients I was taking care of. I realized I can't win in this system, and it's not going to change for me. Nothing here is going to change to meet my needs. I'm the one who has to care enough to change to something else where I can be happy, in not just one sphere of life. I'm just not proud of the person who I had become. I wasn't proud of the care I was providing in that setting. And when it got to that point, I was like, I need to remove myself from this. I'm not effective here. Finally, just accept that there are some circumstances that we don't choose to put ourselves in. We're not actively choosing it. Maybe we got pushed into it or we passively fell into it. But whatever the case, no one is going to be as invested in your health and your well-being, in your time and you having a good life, but no one is going to be invested in that as you are. You are the one who has to make it happen. Trying to force other people, other systems and things to change can really just wear you down.